More pupils are heading back to school today. That will be the grade 6, 11 and some grade R's. They'll be in class for the first time in almost 4 months. Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga says they've learned lessons from the first group who resumed schooling last month. Our reporter Slindelo Masikane joins us now from Johannesburg, and eNCA reporter Monique Mortlock is visiting schools in Cape Town this morning. They both join us now, but let's start off with you, Slee. How's it playing out this morning?
Well, so far so good, Jane, here at Midrand Primary School, where they are, of course, accepting their second phase of learners, which are grade 6s in particular. And for most of the morning, we have seen a number of learners making their way into the school. I'm going to ask Linga to just give you a pan. As you can see, the gate now is closed. We're going to assume that the school day is officially underway inside, but learners are, of course, still coming in their bits, and they've been clear markings on the floor to ensure that social distancing is adhered to. As you can see, they've separated the two grades into two lines, and there's blocks to ensure that the learners are staying separately. And what we have seen, of course, is that parents are seemingly more nervous, Jane, I think, compared to the children. The children seem more excited to be coming back to school. I think you can imagine homeschooling has been quite difficult for most of them. Not many have access or continuous access to internet, and we know from the minister yesterday that the content that's been provided in terms of educational content being made available on radio and TV has not been as effective as learners actually coming back to school. And what we do know is that the minister is going to be doing her rounds in and around Johannesburg, visiting some of the schools. But what we have observed here at Midrand Primary School, it does seem as though that learners are prepared to come back, as well as parents, trusting the system, and also others not really having a choice in terms of not being able to homeschool their children in particular. I want to just bring in one of the parents from Midrand Primary, Jane. Hi, Ma. Is your child in grade 6 or grade 7?
I've got a child in grade 7 and a child in grade 6.
Tell me, how has that experience been? You've been through both reintroductions of your children back into the school. You seem more nervous than they are, in fact, to be coming back to school.
Yeah. For the grade 7 one, yeah, I was nervous. I was worried, but the child was, comfortable. But I trusted the school. And when we arrived here on the 8th of June, everything was in order. The children are supported even during lunch breaks. There's someone watching them. You know, when you ask the child after school, how was your day? So when this grade 6 one was coming through, I knew that things are in order. And I was like, just calm down. I know he's going to adjust. I mean, from March up to now, it's not a joke. But yeah, so he's prepared. I'm nervous a bit because, I mean, he's younger than the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I trust the school. I trust the principal. I also, as a parent at home, I make sure that, I apply the rules. Yeah.
And you're saying you've done your best in order to equip them.
Yes.
And of course, homeschooling was not an option, I'm assuming, for you as well.
No, there was no homeschooling, but the school was giving them activities. So you just open them on the internet, and then the child was past 3 weeks, especially the grade 6 one, he was doing activities at home. So yeah, I think I'm okay. I mean, it's the first day. I don't know how his day is gonna be, but yeah, we just trust the school and also God. We know that God is with them. Yeah, we know that God is with them.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Linda.
All right, Jane, that is one of the parents here at Midrand Primary School, and in fact, I just spotted the minister making her way inside Midrand Primary. We're also going to make our way inside the school as well. She will be doing a walkabout, and I'm sure speaking to the learners as well in terms of ensuring that they are following protocols. As you can see, I'm going to be scanned as well. My temperature is being taken. I'm going to sanitize before we make our way into the school, Jane. And we will be speaking to the minister, of course, in terms of the phase 2 of learners returning.
And we'll get back to you then. Thanks a lot for that. Now, in the Western Cape, the Provincial Education Department says its schools are ready. eNCA reporter Monique Mortlock is visiting schools in Cape Town this morning. And Monique, I mean, it's a rather different situation there than in Gauteng, isn't it?
Yes, Jane, I'm here at Montevideo Primary School in Montana, where a group of parents as well as SGB members are picketing outside of the school. The school is open and it is functional. I spoke to the acting principal, Mr. Craig Daniels, a little earlier before school started, and he said that while they do have all of the necessary PPE, they have all of the necessary COVID-19 hygiene protocols in place. He said that in the wake of the passing of one of their colleagues to COVID-19 on the 27th of June, him and his staff members are obviously feeling very anxious now that the virus has hit close to home. He also says that he won't stand in the way of parents, of SGB members picketing. In fact, he understands their concerns, some of their anxieties. And just to tell us a bit more about today's demonstration, I'm chatting to SGB chairperson, Ms. Amina Lakay. Ma'am, tell us, what is today's demonstration all about? I see quite a number of parents arriving, even parents who have dropped their pupils at school today, still standing here holding up their placards.
Good morning. I'm Mrs. Lakay, the chairperson of the SGB of Montevideo Primary. Today we want to make our voices heard because we are worried about our children and we're worried about our educators because why their lives is in danger. That's why we're protesting here in front of the gate this morning, because why? We are very concerned. We lost already one educator, Mr. Klink, and one of our other educators, she also got tested positive. One of our non-teaching staff member is also at home with COVID-19, and we are really, really serious about this, that our children can't get in the situation where the COVID-19 is concerned.
And we do know that government has said parents won't be forced to send their children. They can apply for exemption to allow them to stay at home. Do you think that this offers some type of relief for parents, some comfort maybe, knowing that they can keep their children at home?
Yes, they can keep their children at home. That is what the president also said. If you don't want to send your child to school, you can leave your child at home. So I'm fully in agreement with that, and I'm also glad that the president is also on the side where he can say and make a statement that the children don't have to come to school.
My final question, so in light of that, knowing that children don't have to come to school, it's not a forced issue, what is the hope then with this demonstration? What are you hoping to achieve?
Okay, we are hoping to achieve that the WCET is really getting, we as a parents, a great concern that we ask of them not to open the schools now, but in October, when the peak of this COVID-19 will be over. Maybe it will be over, but we are really, really a great concern that we don't want the schools to open.
Thank you very much for your time, ma'am. I just want to, sorry, are you a parent, ma'am? Can I speak to you, please? This is one of the parents, just so that I can find out how the parents are feeling. Sir, as a parent, you are here, you are obviously, you have some concerns. What are those concerns?
Those concerns, we feel we are not safe by sending our children to school. We are killing our nation. We cannot afford to send our children to school as yet this COVID-19 is still alive.
Have you then opted to keep your children at home?
Yes, of course. Children must be indoors.
And will you continue with teaching and learning at home? Do you feel that your children's learning won't be impacted if you keep them at home and continue with that?
Ever since this thing started in March, we still busy teaching the children at home, as we were mandated. We are still continuing with that, but sending the children to school again during this COVID-19 is uncalled for. It's a risk of killing our nation. We cannot afford.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for speaking to us. There you heard it from one of the parents here at Montevideo Primary School, and also the SGB chairperson saying that they are concerned about the reopening of the school to other grades. And what we heard from the principal earlier is that it wasn't only the one educator who passed away of COVID-19 who was infected, but there are at least 2 other cases. And last week or a couple of days ago, they heard about one of their learners, a 7-year-old child who has also tested positive for COVID-19.
Frightening indeed, Monique. Thank you for that. We're going to be